The keys to true riches and eternal happiness. Peace and love, everyone. Welcome back. My name is Sheldon, and I help raise the vibrational frequency of this planet by really helping people ascend their consciousness. Now, in this video, I'm going to explain to you guys how to achieve true riches and eternal happiness. And I'm going to go based on what I have done over my journey and what I've done over the years in order to really receive true riches in life and to become the person I am today and be as happy as I am on a daily basis. Now, true riches reside on the inside. Nothing material or external can bring you true riches in life. I know a lot of people that have a lot of money that are very depressed and miserable. I'm sure you hear a lot of stories about people, millionaires that, struggle with depression and they end up committing suicide because they don't know who they truly are. They're always chasing external material things in order to bring them happiness. Now, the problem with that is it'll only bring them temporary happiness. You can buy a new car, you're going to be happy for a couple weeks, but then you're going to have to buy another car. You keep chasing these things. When you get to know yourself and you learn about who you truly are and your true nature, that's what brings true riches in life. So when you isolate yourself and you put yourself in a period of solitude and you get to know that, wait a minute, I'm not just a human being, I'm actually an infinite spiritual being having a temporary human experience in an infinite world, in an infinite universe. Once you realize this wisdom, you'll start gaining true riches in life. You'll start seeing that there's no separation. You'll start seeing that, you see yourself in literally everything and everyone. So you start leading your life with more love and peace and respect because when you disrespect someone else or you disrespect the planet, you're actually just disrespecting yourself at the end of the day. You're hurting yourself. You're hating yourself. So once you start going about this with love and peace and understanding that, there is no separation whatsoever and that everything is literally you. You are the universe. Then you start living life to the fullest. Then you start realizing that, wait a minute, all we need is love. So once you get to know yourself, you start living a blissful life, living a beautiful life. But it's only until you look inside that you'll receive this wisdom. You need to look inside and turn your attention inward first, and then this wisdom will come to you. You'll start realizing that you are an infinite spiritual being having a temporary human experience instead of this mask that you're just wearing right now. The second thing is meditation. Meditation was huge for me, and it goes, back to the first thing I was saying. Looking inside. When you're able to silence your mind and become an observer of your thoughts, you start receiving a lot of wisdom. The average human being has, I think, 60,000 thoughts per day. That's a lot. And a lot of them are recycled from previous days, right? That's what keeps this conveyor belt life going. Is this thought process. So once we can step outside the box and be an observer of our thoughts and realize where they're coming from, and in turn start becoming an alchemist and turning the negative thoughts into positive thoughts, your life becomes beautiful because your thoughts literally govern your reality. This was known for a very long time. This wisdom was suppressed and buried because they don't want you to know how powerful you are. But think about karma. Everyone believes in karma, but they don't truly understand how it works, but I do. If I do something good towards someone and I have positive feelings and emotions about it and I express it positively out to the universe, I'm thinking about that manner in a positive way, I'm sending that energy out and then positive things are happening to me. That's the law of attraction. And it's the same on the flip side. I'm sure you guys know a lot of negative people and you see their lives and you assess their lives and what's happening in their lives, and it's because of their mindset. It's because, all these things are always happening to me and I got all these bills to pay and I'm in all this debt, and that's their recycled thoughts every single day. Well, when you recycle these thoughts, you recycle your experiences. and you start to snowball. So instead of focusing on the negative, we need to start focusing on the positive. We need to start taking the optimism out of every single situation that happens to us and understand that it's happening to us for a reason, instead of, thinking that it's just this burden. It's happening for us, for our growth, for our progression. So we start understanding these things. The universe is always communicating with you, always, no matter if you're aware of it or not. It is always communicating with you. So once you're aware of these signs and you start decoding them, you'll start seeing the message everywhere. And that's when you start really gaining these true riches in life. You need to stop being so concerned with other people's opinions. When you concern yourself with the opinions of others, you stop caring about yourself. Because your opinion of yourself should be the only thing that matters. And in turn, you're going to attract the tribe that you are meant to attract. So we really need to cut out any toxic people in our life. Toxic things consume, anything toxic in our lives. Whether it's people, whether it's the media, whether it's food, all of this. We know in our hearts and in our soul what's toxic for us or not. Our mind will justify it in some certain way. It'll justify eating a certain food, however it wants to justify it. But our hearts and our souls and our bodies know that it's not right. And it's not going to give us good energy. It's only going to bring us temporary happiness, and then we're always going to chase that. So that's a cycle a lot of people get caught up in. Eating, for example. There's a lot of overweight people and unhealthy people on this planet. And unfortunately, they were conditioned to be that way through, media and advertising. And that's why I say it's very important not to, be consumed with the television, because you are programming your mind in a specific way. Right? All this advertising, and you get those cravings, and that's what that's from. That's why these companies spend billions of dollars on advertising, because they know how powerful the subconscious mind is. So they're pumping it full of their ads. They're literally spending billions of dollars to do this. Do you guys understand that? And it's for a reason, because they know how powerful it is to program. And that's why you still have those jingles in your head that, you've heard on the TV your whole entire life, those ads that, kind of stick with you. They've done that for a very specific reason, because they know how the mind works. Once you start becoming aware of how the mind works and you start utilizing this tool, anything is possible. You can start programming your mind with whatever you would like to see in your reality. Love, peace, abundance, travel, whatever it might be. Freedom. But a lot of people are stuck in the mindset that they need to go to work from 9 to 5 every single day in order to get by. That's their mindset. That is your mindset. Yes, it was programmed in you, but you have a choice now. You didn't have a choice when you were growing up and a kid, the programming that was taking place in your mind, but you have a choice now. You have an authentic choice to be who you truly want to be, or to continue living in this matrix system that doesn't serve you. So the choice is yours. You get to program your mind however you want to. When you choose to program it with true riches in life, whatever it might be, that will bring you the happiness that you're always looking for. You'll stop being so depressed. You'll start looking at life in more of an optimistic way. Life becomes a journey and a blessing more than a burden. You want to wake up every single day, and I'm so excited to get out of bed every single day. Like I got a big morning routine, and it's tough for me to stay in my bed and do it, to be honest with you guys. Like I just want to get up and make these videos because I love it. Because I absolutely love it. But I have to do what I'm doing to get my energy to the levels that, I need to have it in order to speak. So I have to do my breathing, my cold showers, my meditation, my visualization, programming my subconscious mind in a very certain way. And it takes a little bit of time. And I'm working on the patience part, because I literally am so excited to get out of bed every single day. And everyone should feel like that. Everyone can feel like that. You have the power inside of you. Everyone has. I'm not a special person whatsoever. I'm not different than any one of you guys at all. I have just accessed my inner energy. I've accessed the infinite power within me. And everyone can do that. There's no limits in life. So, as long as you guys know that you have the power within you, and you always had the power within you, then life just becomes beautiful. You look inside and you feel it, and then you start realizing that, wait a minute, like something else is here. Like, I've been lied to my whole entire life. I've been told I wasn't powerful, but I am so much more powerful than I've been led to believe. And then you start seeing the signs. Once you start following your heart, you start seeing the signs, and you start paying attention to the signs, and the signs are everywhere, and they're absolutely beautiful. You know, dreams. Like, I had an unbelievable dream last night, and it's just very connected with everything that's happening in my life. Like, it's way too deep to explain, but for me, I understand. And once you start connecting these dots, you start realizing that there's such a bigger picture here. And then life becomes even more beautiful, and you're seeing these things every single day, and your energy is just through the roof, because it's like, how is this happening to me? Why am I so lucky? And the only reason that I'm so lucky is because I decided to isolate myself and work on myself and cut out all the toxic habits in my life and continue to cut them out. So I'm not perfect, but every single day I work to get better. Every single day I ask myself, how can I get better today? What can I do to get better today? What can I cut out of my life that no longer serves me? Right? And I realized that once I started doing this, and once I started developing that mindset, then, you know, life just became a beautiful journey for me. And I started, like, just letting everything come to me instead of chasing it. And now every time I need something, it just ends up, you know, right on my doorstep. And it ends up on my doorstep in such a beautiful way, at the perfect time, in, you know, the most synchronized way possible. And it's just so beautiful, right? Like, it puts my energy through the roof. Like, I'm just like, how is this happening to me all the time, every single day, nonstop, all day long? So, you know, once you start experiencing these things, that's when you start really gaining the true riches in life. And it does not happen overnight. Like, this has taken years and years and years and years of practice, and getting to know myself, and isolating myself, and taking myself out of toxic situations, and learning, and, you know, doing my research. And the thing is, guys, is like, if you're believing everything you're told, then you're being led down a wrong path in life, and you're being led down that path purposely. But if you go out and do your research and see what resonates with you, because whatever resonates with you is truth, because it's resonating in your soul, it's coming from a higher power. It's like, that makes sense. And that makes sense to you for a specific reason. You gotta release the programming that's been happening in your whole entire life. And you gotta start developing things that make more sense to you. Start thinking outside the box. Start thinking outside your five senses. For example, semen retention and mastering your sexual energy. Like, semen is life force energy. And there's a reason why they've put so much money and emphasis on sex. And pornography, for example, produces gray matter in the brain, or reduces gray matter in the brain. It is literally toxic. Literally toxic. So I myself, I don't masturbate, because I know that I'm not supposed to. There's a reason that monks and shamans, priests, we're all celibate. That meaning has been lost for a long time, but it's because they know that that is your life force energy. And it's not supposed to just, you know, go out every single day. And once I started adapting these things, my energy went through the roof. I started becoming my true, authentic self. I started mastering my sexual energy. And this is a good example of, you know, doing my own research and seeing what resonates with me, and then adapting it in my life and seeing what experiences I've had because I've been adapting it in my life. See, a lot of people just, they take something, there's like, oh no, that wouldn't work, but they never even try it for themselves. So how do you know? Or they say, oh, I can never do that. Well, that's the way that you program your mind. If you say you can't do something, then you can't do it. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. So we need to start being more optimistic about things that we can do. Even though it might be hard, you know, It's not easy to drop meat, for example, or certain foods. I'm not saying it is. I remember along my journey when I had to do that, it wasn't easy. I fought with it for a long time. But once I started realizing how I was feeling adapting a plant-based diet, for example, then I knew, based on my experience, I knew that that was the right thing. I knew that that was the right way. It made so much sense to me that, you know, if we assess our anatomy, we're not meant to eat meat. Like a lion or a tiger that has jagged teeth that can rip apart flesh and could eat a pig in front of it, but you can't. You have to slaughter it, cook it, spice it, all that stuff. And it still doesn't digest, and it's very acidic. So you're not supposed to eat meat. That's why a lot of meat eaters have terrible acne. You might look good on the outside, but your insides are really shitty, unfortunately. So once you start realizing these things and you start adapting more, you know, beautiful things in your life, getting the toxicity out of your life, and adapting better habits, your life will become better. You'll start adapting true riches. You'll become a lot happier. But it all starts with you. You know, do you want to change or not? Do you want to keep recycling the same experiences day in and day out? Or do you want a better life? Because the better life is waiting for you. A better life is waiting for you. Understand that. And it's as soon as you choose, the universe will move. But it has to be your choice. You can keep, you know, recycling old thoughts and recycling old experiences, or you can start living a new life, a beautiful journey, and who knows where it's going to take you. But I promise you, it's going to take you to the most beautiful places in the entire world, and the most beautiful experiences that you can ever experience ever, and the most joy and the most bliss. And this is what's happening to me, because I've decided to look inside and not go with society and not live that conveyor belt lifestyle. It was never in me. It was never in me to work for someone, to, you know, be told what to do. It never ever resonated in my soul. I'm a free spirit, and I do not live in this matrix system. So I just want you guys to know that you guys can achieve true riches and true happiness in life if you start adapting some of these methods and going out and doing your own research and drawing your own conclusions and adapting it in your life and seeing what kind of experiences recycle. This is the key. This is the key. And I just encourage you guys to get to know yourselves a lot better and stop trying to please other people, because that's the first step, is know thyself. That is the first step. Isolate yourself, meditate, and ask who you truly are. Because if you ask, you shall receive. And that's it. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. If you did, please press the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, share it for sure, and we'll see you soon. Thanks a lot. Peace and love.